Ever since I quit my job to be a full-time rapper, the most common question I get asked when I tell people about that is, what do you do all day? And as you can tell by the length of this video, that's a complicated question to answer, but let's get into it. Welcome back to Road to J. Cole Feature, the series that's all about the journey. I'm DG the artist, and for this episode, I wanted to treat it a little more like a classic episode of Road to J. Cole Feature, where I really just tell you everything I've done this week for my rap career, because I feel like this week kind of like summarizes the whole thing really well. And so let's just get into it day by day. So I'm recording this on Friday, and I just want to give you the last 7 days. So we'll start with Friday, May 1st. Friday was a content day. I recorded the last episode of Road to J. Cole Feature that you've probably seen, unless you just randomly clicked on this video and you're not familiar with the series, in which case, welcome. I also had my friends Risk and The Vibe over, and we recorded the next episode of our podcast. We took an autism test to find out if we're on the spectrum. I won't spoil it. It was a really fun episode. I feel like I learned a lot about myself and them, so good times. Stay tuned. I also posted 2 reels that day, and I'm not gonna lie, I wrote down in my notes that I posted 2 reels, and I can't remember what they were, but I feel like that's kind of irrelevant. You can check my Instagram and see what I posted last Friday, but apparently I posted twice. Now, moving on to the weekend, and weekends are interesting because I am trying to generally keep my rap career as kind of a Monday to Friday 9 to 5 endeavor. The fact is that that's honestly impossible because a lot of the music world operates after 5 p.m. and not on weekdays. But my general rule is, if it's not the fun part of my music career, like performing or recording or collaborating with people, I'm trying to keep that stuff off of my weekends. That gives me some time to relax, and it also gives me time to spend with my wife, who is working a Monday to Friday 9 to 5, and so I want to hang out with her on her days off. But on Saturday for my rap career, the only thing I did was I posted 1 reel about my concert, which was coming up the next day. Normally on weekends, I would try to refrain from like posting content and stuff because that gets me like too much in the algorithmic world, and I don't really like that. But on Saturday, it made sense because my concert was literally the next day, and I wanted to remind people to get tickets. And speaking of the concert, let's move on to Sunday. Sunday, the only thing I did for my rap career was this concert. And oh my God, y'all, I haven't talked about it on the channel yet, but this was such a good concert. It was me and Don Kuzan opening up for Red Haze. We're all DMV area artists, and it was so much fun. The crowd was lovely. It's the most tickets I've sold to a DC area concert, so that was really exciting. And concerts for me are weird because when I'm on stage, it's kind of hard for me to tell how I'm being received. You know, I'm up there, I'm focused on like getting all my lyrics out and like entertaining people and jumping around and not running out of energy. And so with all that, it's kind of hard to tell, like, do people love this? Do they just like it? Are they completely ambivalent? Like, what's the deal? But let me tell you, when I got off stage, I think I got more compliments than I've ever gotten from a show. Like, people were genuinely having a great time and really impressed, and they really liked my songs and my lyrics and all that stuff. There were a lot of people who had never seen me before, and they were complimenting me, which is like such a high honor because they didn't go there for me, you know, they just like randomly found out about me and still enjoyed it. So yeah, it went really well. I sold some merch there too, which was great, and yeah, just all in all, excellent experience. I love performing. Actually, one more funny story about the performance. So this show was like at a bar. So there's like a bar area and then also a performance area. And during sound check, there were some people at the bar who were just like hearing the sound check. And you know, sound check is not a performance. Sound check is making sure things sound okay. And that means, you know, you're going to try some things out that don't sound good and all that sort of stuff. You know, it's not meant to be like a public thing for people to listen to. And so a little bit after sound check, before I actually went on to perform, I was walking through the bar to go outside and like get some fresh air. And this one woman stopped me and was like, "What was that song you were doing? It was like really good. And you said this one thing," and like all this stuff, like just complimenting me about the performance. And I was like, "Oh, I don't even remember what I did. That was just sound check. But I'm about to be performing at 8 o'clock, so you should totally stick around." And she was like, "Oh yeah, definitely. Like, how do I get a ticket?" and all that sort of stuff. And just like really excited about the performance. So that was like a huge ego boost. And maybe that's part of the reason I love performing so much, because of, you know, all the compliments on my music that I get. I don't know. I feel like I'm just bragging now. So I'm going to move on to Monday. But yeah, it was a good feeling. Mondays are usually like my very logistics heavy days because it's the first day of the new week. And so anything that was going on over the weekend, now it's time to like handle all the actual logistics of that. So I updated my website to remove the concert that I did on Sunday because now there's no need for people to buy tickets to it. I reached out to a local venue to ask about doing an EP release party there. For those who don't know, I'm planning on dropping my EP in June. I guess I haven't actually announced the date yet, but June 26th is the plan, so stay tuned. It's coming really soon. And I want to do like an EP release party, like performance/party basically at this venue in Virginia. So I reached out, have not heard back yet. Venues are always tricky, but I'm going to reach out again probably today and, see what happens. I'm sure I'll be able to book it. It's like a pretty small venue and like I think I fit their vibe really well. So we'll wait and see. I also edited and uploaded the last episode of Road to J. Cole feature, and I recorded some content with my friend Carrie KH for one of his many channels, Lazy KH. We made a video about at what age you unlock each swear word, and it was really interesting. It was a fun video. We went for like an hour, but it was a good time, and people seem to be enjoying it, so I'll link that in the description. And I also wrote some lyrics on Monday. I didn't record anything, but I'm always writing. Tuesday was a big video editing day. I edited a lot of my last video, which was part 3 of reading my work thoughts journal from my time as a software engineer at Twitch. I also recorded a demo of a song that actually did turn into something later in the week that I'll talk about in a little bit. And Tuesdays are also the day of my absolute favorite open mic night that I always go to. I mentioned that I wanted to do this in the last video, but I filmed the pilot episode of like a mini mockumentary series that I want to start there. And it was going really well. I haven't edited it yet, but I think it's going to come out really good. And I'm excited to like work on a few more episodes. So stay tuned for that. I also had a good conversation with the open mic night host about when he needs me to sub. I'm officially a sub host for the open mic nights for when he needs to be out of town or something like that, which is really cool. It's a fun way to engage with the community and also make some money, which is great because I don't have a real job. And yeah, it sounds like he's going to need me to sub at some point in June and then at some point in July. So we haven't figured out the dates yet, but it's going to happen and I'm excited for that. Moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday was a big day. I finished editing the work thoughts video and uploaded that, and that's been received pretty well. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I posted yet another reel on Wednesday too. And I also spent a lot of time Wednesday in the studio recording music. And oh my God, I made an absolutely crazy song, y'all. Okay, I honestly am going back and forth on what I want to call this song, but the name that makes the most sense to me right now is all caps, JD Vance would hate this song. And I think I'm probably gonna have to call it that, honestly, because it's I keep being pulled back to that name. I think it's so funny. I played it for my wife after I got like the first demo finished, and like the way I explained it to her before I played it was I was like in a playground state making this song. Like sometimes you go into the studio and you're, going through the motions. Like how to record this. Maybe it's like a rap verse, like something really real from the heart. I know how to record a rap verse and make it sound good. I can like bang that out in like 10 minutes, whatever, like easy. But this song was like full on play. Like I haven't had this much fun in the studio in a minute. Like I was trying out all new vocal effects that I've never done before, like just doing things with my voice that I've never done that like actually sounded really good. And I'm loving the song so much that I think I actually am going to have to release it. Like while I was making it, I was thinking there's no way this will ever come out. This is just me like goofing off in the studio, having a good time, but it's like terrible. But the more I'm working on it and listening to it, the more I'm realizing that there's like actually something to it. And I freaking love this song. So I think I'm going to have to put it out at some point after the EP. So stay tuned. And JD Vance, if you're watching this, don't stay tuned because you will hate this song. Finally, yesterday, Thursday, I spent some time editing the podcast that I filmed with my friends last week. I'm about an hour in. This is a long podcast because the autism test we took has 80 questions. So it's going to be like an hour, 30 minutes when the whole thing's done. But like, it's going really well. It's a really entertaining podcast and I'm kind of just enjoying listening to it while I edit it. So that's been fun. I also worked on some promotion for my show in Raleigh that's coming up on July 3rd with Javo. It's going to be a really good time. I was mostly just DMing people who I know are going to be in Raleigh then and telling them about the show because I really just want to like pack the room out and like make it an unforgettable experience for everybody who pulls up. So yeah, just some show promo. Classic. And the last thing I did yesterday was I wrote and recorded a feature for my buddy Jay Paris. Jay Paris is a super dope artist. We've been like this since I started making music. Like he masters all my music for me and he's super talented with that, but he's also a great artist and I'm collaborating with him on his upcoming music. So I wrote that feature. I'm really proud of it. Hopefully he'll actually want to use it in his song, but we'll wait and see. If he doesn't, then I still have a good verse that I can use in my music. And that's this week. That's why like when people ask me, what do you actually do as a rapper? It's so hard to answer because every day is so different. Don't go yet. There's still more to talk about. Let's look at the stats for the week. This week's stats are all right. YouTube has kind of slowed down since last week. My watch time has gone up since I've posted some long videos, but I noticed like on those videos, they haven't done as well as some previous videos. Like they're all under 200 views, which is like kind of disappointing, but that's YouTube. We keep pushing, keep trying new things and see what resonates with people. Instagram has grown a little bit. Spotify has been like reasonably stagnant, not bad, not great. And with that, let's move on to this week's shout out. This week's shout out goes to Organized Chaos, who is a DC area singer and sometimes rapper. Organized Chaos is also just somebody who you want to root for. Like, she cares so much about helping the DMV artist community and like really, you know, growing together, but I wouldn't be shouting her out if the music wasn't also great. She just dropped this great song called Beautiful Things that I think you all should check out. It's like very chill and vibey and just nice. Like it's a good like sunny day type of song. Would strongly recommend. Organized Chaos is the future of R&B, so tap in early and say you were here. And if you want to be considered for next week's shout out, let me know in the comments. That's about it for this episode of Road to J. Cole Feature. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.